Hey people, Banggood have very kindly given me one of their Veiko 300mm aluminium angle positioning T-squares to review. So in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what I think about this thing. I must admit, I was racking my brains to try and figure out exactly what to tell you about this tool. There's only so much you can say about a T-square, right? So I checked out the Casual DIY channel, as I knew Thomas there had already reviewed a bunch of other Veiko products for Banggood.
In today's video, we'll be checking out this precision square from Veiko.
I don't know how he does it. Is it his sexy accent, or just the fact that he makes things interesting, or does he just talk slower? But Thomas managed to talk about a square, box standard square version of this by Veiko for nearly 16 minutes. That's just a simple square. No pressure then. So, out of the box, it's all in one nice piece ready to go. I like that, because any assembly could have introduced any assembly errors and taken away from the accuracy of the thing. There's no instructions beyond some basic usage on the box, but honestly, it's a simple enough tool that you don't really need much instruction. It's pretty obvious that the inspiration for this product was from a Woodpecker Tools version that costs about twice the price, about $130. Can't compare directly with their version as I don't have it, but I can go by what I've read online and I've seen for myself. The Woodpecker version has a stainless steel ruler instead of an aluminium one, and it comes with a little bracket for holding it. This is something that anybody should be able to whip up themselves easily enough. I've just 3D printed this little bracket here that works just fine. It's weighty enough, being made of anodized aluminium, no cheap and nasty plastic parts, and you can tell it will survive a few drops before being whacked out of square. And in case you need to, it's nice to see it does have screws in place, and it comes with a small hex key, so you could take it apart and make any adjustments that might be needed. It's also well balanced, as the fence has a bit of weight to it, but it's just that little bit lighter than the ruler, so it doesn't fall off your workbench. It also feels nice. The aluminium is a smooth satin-like finish, well marked as well. It's not just painted on, and there's no sharp edges that I could see either. It's about 11mm thick on the fence and 360mm long, and the edge fence is about 210mm wide. There's very little bend or movement in the ruler unless you really try, so this thing isn't going to break unless, of course, you're careless or you misuse it. The markings are very clear and spaced to the nearest 1mm and can be found on both edges of the rule, as well as, of course, holes in the middle to aid with the marking. Now these holes go down the ruler in a bit of a staggered fashion with odds and evens either side. Each of the holes is about 1mm in diameter, so a well sharpened or mechanical pencil will just pop in there easily. That is one thing I would change though if I could. The Woodpecker version of this has slots instead of holes, so you can see where your pencil is a bit better. Now having the holes is pretty nice though, I must admit. I first saw little rulers like this many years ago on the Incro rulers, and I've always wanted something like that. Now Tim Sway's square has been the closest thing I've got so far, and I found that pretty useful. However, the holes do need something suitable and some little bit of care to use. I've snapped a few pencils so far, although scribes work well. I'm just using this one from my combination square. You can easily draw parallel lines quickly and accurately, which is lovely. I probably should mention, although maybe it seems obvious to you, you can't use it as a normal ruler, sadly, because the edge fence just raises the whole thing up. Now, ruler accuracy is pretty good. I've compared it to a ruler I know is spot on, and it comes out exactly the same. Seems crazy, perhaps, to check these things, but I have seen some really bad measurements on some measuring tapes and rulers, and even a fraction of a millimetre can soon add up in some projects and just mess everything up at the end. It's also, and rather critically, square when at the 90-degree position. I measured it against my favourite square and a sheet of paper. The angled element is simple enough to use, just untighten one knob here, and it will move to the desired angle. It feels really nice, a little click on each 5-degree point, as well as two handy dimensions. It clicks in just there as well at 22.5 degrees and 67.5 degrees, which makes things like octagons easy. In total, you can measure from 0 to 75 degrees on both sides of the ruler, which is more than enough for most stuff. Although it would have been nice to be able to do some smaller angles somehow. There is a tiny bit of wobble, even with the knob tightened, but it's not enough to be a problem if you push against it as you're using it. So in summary, it retails about £42 or $57, but can often be found cheaper when they have a sale on. Actually, at the time of recording, it's currently on offer at just under £31. I'll pop a link in the video description below where you can find it, and yes, I of course get a bit of commission if you buy it there. It only seems to be available currently in metric right now, but there is word they are doing an imperial version, for those who work in weird units like feet and inches in special countries. Bless you. So would I buy one? Yes, I would. It's already become an extremely useful markup tool for my projects, and I can't justify paying nearly 3 times the price for a woodpecker version, even if it is, well, even if it looks slightly better. So thanks all for watching, and thanks to Banggood for passing this to me.